A family torn apart. Two brothers get into a fight. Suddenly one pulls a gun and kills the other.
They was having a disagreement. Not loud or fighting or nothing. And his brother shot him. In my mind, I thought, would he shoot the baby? Would he shoot me? He begged him to stop. He begged him over and over again, and he just stood over him and shot him some more.
Alright y'all, now this is a crazy story. I remember seeing this on Facebook and never knew the ins and outs of the story. However, all I knew was that one brother took the life of another one. Now the first thing I said was, bro had to be either out of his mind or just downright jealous. Either that or some type of drug or substance was involved, or perhaps maybe something was a little more spiritual. Because there's no way a sibling would take the life of another sibling just so carelessly and not just take his life, but shoot his own big brother 16 times. That sounds like something that, comes straight out of a movie, and it seems like something was a little more behind it. But according to reports, they say it was a minor dispute that the two had while helping their mother move, and suddenly one son shot the other and didn't just shoot him. He treated him like he was an op on the street and stood over him, shooting him multiple times. Now get this, their mother had to sit there and watch while holding the daughter of the brother who was unalive. And she also watched her own son, which was his brother, and the daughter that she was holding's father take his last breath. Crazy. Now let's get straight into it, man. It's not much more to say about it. Shout out to Viral Crimes. I'll leave a full video link pinned in the comments so y'all can check it out there on your own. But in the meantime, make sure you hit that thumbs up button so we can get this video onto the algorithm. And if you're not subscribed to the platform already, make sure you do so now. Let's get into it.
The tears just won't stop.
I'm never gonna be the same without him.
A mother grieving the loss of her son, a son she watched take his last breath. Tamir Dial shot and killed outside his mom's house on East 127th Street. What's worse, Pinky Hale says it was another son that pulled the trigger.
This is the story of Tamir Dial, a 23-year-old loving father of a 1-year-old daughter. Tamir's life was tragically cut short in a way no one could have imagined. During an argument with his 19-year-old younger brother, Rodney Curley Jr., he would be shot 16 times while pleading for his life.
Crazy.
This shocking act of violence occurred right in front of their mother and would devastate this close-knit family. What could
Yo, you know what's crazy, right? Could you imagine as a parent watching one of your kids take the other kid's life? And it's like, you don't know how to feel because they're both your kids, right? I don't know if this kid here was like the black sheep of the family, because normally it's usually like that when a kid feels like he's the black sheep and he just do whatever he want because he feel that nobody cares and etc, etc. But imagine being a parent, how to deal with it. You got to really sit there and be like, dang, one of my sons just passed away while the other one is the one responsible for it. How do I feel? Crazy.
Drive a brother to turn against his own flesh and blood? What led to the horrifying moment when their sibling bond was shattered forever? Welcome to Viral Crimes. Subscribe and hit the bell icon for more stories. This story takes us to Cleveland, Ohio, a city known for its rich history, passionate sports culture, and close-knit neighborhoods. Nestled along the shores of Lake Erie, Cleveland boasts a resilient community that takes pride in its hardworking people and deep family values. However, beneath the city's industrial charm and bustling streets, a tragic event unfolded that left an unfillable void in the hearts of many. At the center of this story is Tymer Hale Dial, a 23-year-old man whose infectious smile and loving personality touched everyone he met. Born on January 4, 2000, Tymer was the beloved son of Pinky Hale and Mark Dial. He grew up surrounded by family, including his siblings, with whom he shared a deep bond, one that, tragically, would be broken in the most unimaginable way. Tymer was more than just a son and brother. He was a devoted father to his beautiful one-year-old daughter, whom he adored and cherished deeply. His life revolved around providing for her and being a constant presence in her life. Described by his family as the heart of their home, Tymer had a special way of bringing people together. His father likened him to the beloved character from the show Everybody Loves Raymond, emphasizing how his warm and welcoming nature made him a favorite among friends and family. Professionally, Tymer worked as a staff member at a local school. Known for his kindness, dedication, and unwavering positivity, he was a valued colleague to those he worked with. Beyond his work, Tymer was a true family man. Whether helping his mother move into a new home or spending time with his daughter and girlfriend, he was always there when needed. He had
You know what's crazy? Don't it always seem like it happened to these type of people? Like the people that just be minding their business and just, people actually like and taking care of their kids, and it's always happening to these kind of people. The worst situations happen to some of the best people.
a gentle soul, a loving heart, and an undeniable presence that made every room he entered brighter. Tymer Hale Dial shared a deeply personal and lifelong connection with his younger brother, Rodney Curley Jr., the individual responsible for his tragic death. As siblings, they grew up together in Cleveland, Ohio, experiencing the joys and challenges that come with brotherhood. Tymer, as the older sibling, often took on a protective and guiding role in Rodney's life. Family members recall how he was always looking out for his younger brother, offering advice, encouragement, and unwavering support. Like many siblings, they had their fair share of conflicts, although those moments were often short-lived and resolved with understanding. But no one could have ever imagined that the lives of these loving siblings would take such a tragic turn. The tragic death of Tymer Hale Dial occurred on October 3, 2023, outside his mother's home on East 127th Street in Cleveland, Ohio. What began as an ordinary day of helping his mother move into her new home took a devastating turn when a verbal disagreement with his younger brother, Rodney Curley Jr., escalated into fatal violence. According to Tymer's mother, Pinky Hale, she was inside the house holding her young granddaughter when the argument broke out between the two brothers. What initially seemed like a minor disagreement quickly escalated when Rodney Curley Jr., then 19 years old, pulled out a gun and fired multiple shots at Tymer. Witnesses reported that after the first shot, Tymer stood in shock and disbelief, unable to comprehend that his own brother had shot him. Despite his pleas for his life, Rodney continued to fire, ultimately standing over his older brother and shooting him several more times.
Now, could you imagine that, right? You having a dispute with whether you have a brother or a sister or just anybody in your family for that matter, and you're not expecting them to really pull out a firearm and shoot you, especially if it wasn't that serious. So they saying that they probably was going back and forth, and then the little brother pulled out the weapon and started shooting. In the first shot, he was in disbelief, like, yo, what happened? And then this man proceeded to shoot multiple times, 15 more times after the initial shot, and even stood over his own big brother. That sounds like something, I don't know whether it's demonic. I don't know if it was some type of substance involved, whether it was alcohol or pills. That just don't sound like somebody that's in their right mind at all.
Cleveland police officers responded to the 500 block of East 127th Street, where they found 23-year-old Tymer Hale Dial lying on the ground with multiple gunshot wounds to his upper back and head. Despite the efforts of first responders, Tymer succumbed to his injuries at the scene. Following the tragic event, Cleveland police launched an investigation, and on October 4, 2023, a warrant was issued for Rodney Curley Jr.'s arrest on charges of homicide, involuntary manslaughter, felonious assault, and aggravated menacing. Despite law enforcement's efforts, Curley initially evaded capture.
I should grab the shooter, or if I should grab the baby, or if I should grab Tymer. But I was willing to die.
A mother willing to give up her own life to save her son. A family torn apart. Two brothers get into a fight. Suddenly one pulls a gun and kills the other.
Crazy.
Noel Williams sat down with the family as they try to put into words exactly what they're going through.
The tears just won't stop.
I'm never gonna be the same without him.
A mother grieving the loss of her son, a son she watched take his last breath. Tamir Dial shot and killed outside his mom's house on East 127th Street. What's worse, Pinky Hale says it was another son that pulled the trigger. She says she was moving into her new home. Tamir, along with her 19-year-old son, were there to help. As she was holding her young granddaughter in her arms, she says the brothers started arguing.
They was having a disagreement, not loud or fighting or nothing. And his brother shot him. In my mind, I thought, would he shoot the baby? Would he shoot me?
I spoke to Cleveland police.
Yeah, because now you got to think about it, right? If she's there, she has the baby, or just whether she has the baby or not. If you just watch your son shoot his own brother multiple times, now in your head, you thinking like, all right, if he bold enough to do that to him, I don't know what he might do to me, right? Anybody else in their right mind will probably be like, nah, that's my son. He ain't gonna do that. I'm his mother. But then once you see him do that to his own big brother and then stand over him and shoot him 16 times, it's no telling what he'll do to you. And guess what? You don't got time to sit there and find out. It only takes one bullet to actually take somebody's life. So yeah, she's right. So she don't know whether to go and comfort the other son or, you know, stop the other one. It's like, what do I do?
It's about the shooting, but they would only say it was an ongoing investigation. As Hale tries to piece together what happened, she relives that moment on a daily basis.
He begged him to stop. He begged him over and over again, and he just stood over him and shot him some more.
Tamir's family tells me the 23-year-old was a true family man to his parents, siblings, and beautiful 1-year-old daughter.
Man, like, you know, the show Raymond, everybody loved Raymond. That's him. Everybody loved him.
Hale says she hasn't seen or talked to her 19-year-old son since the shooting a week ago. She has only one thing to say to him.
Turn yourself in. Don't hurt anybody else. Don't hurt himself in the process.
As this family searches for justice, they hope the 19-year-old does the right thing.
For several weeks, Curley remained on the run, leading to increased efforts from law enforcement agencies. The Northern Ohio Violent Fugitive Task Force, along with the U.S. Marshals, took over the search. On November 16, 2023, after nearly 6 weeks of evading authorities, Curley was finally apprehended. Officers located him at a residence in the 1800 block of Reburn Road in Cleveland, where he was hiding in the basement. Initially unresponsive to commands, Curley ultimately surrendered when officers threatened to release a K-9 unit into the home. He was taken into custody without further incident. U.S. Marshal Pete Elliott later commended the swift actions of law enforcement, stating, "Another violent fugitive was taken off the streets today due to the efforts of the Cleveland Division of Police and our fugitive task force. Our officers worked diligently to apprehend this fugitive as quickly and safely as possible." Following his arrest, Rodney Curley Jr. was formally charged in Cuyahoga County Court of Common Pleas. The case proceeded through the judicial system, and after months of legal proceedings, Curley pleaded guilty to the charges of involuntary manslaughter, felonious assault, and aggravated menacing on April 24, 2024. As part of a plea agreement, 3 additional charges were dismissed. During the court proceedings, family members and friends of Tamir Dial expressed their heartbreak and called for justice to be served.
A family torn apart as a man learns his punishment for killing his own brother, shooting him 16 times. Emotion spilling outside of the courtroom.
Exactly right. The families for each of the brothers fighting in the hallway seconds later. New at 6, Brittany Weir with what sparked screaming, yelling, and that near fight in the courthouse.
Wow.
A fight broke out right after the sentencing for Rodney Curley. He is charged with killing his own brother. Both families screaming at each other in the hallway right outside the courtroom. The father of the victim upset because he wasn't present when the sentence was handed down.
You got my son killed! They killed my son!
Tamir Hale Dial's family is furious. They wanted justice for their loved one, but they never got the chance to tell a judge how Tamir's death will forever affect them.
My son had a father, and I'm here, and I was present. He's dead. He's not here.
20-year-old Rodney.
Wait, but I'm lost. Who is he arguing with? Right? Who are they going back and forth with? I'm lost because they're both brothers. How is it that the family is arguing with the other family? Who's the other family? Maybe I'm missing something. But if they both brothers, unless they got different fathers or whatever the case may be, but they look alike to me. He actually looks more like the father. Him right here, he looks more like the father. When you look at it, right? He looks more like him. Look. So I don't know, but who could you possibly see? But that's the confusion because it's just a whole bunch of tension and tempers flaring because one of their sons is deceased. But at the end of the day, man, you can't, they're brothers. Can't argue with nobody.
Curley convicted of murdering Tamir. The two men were half-brothers. Tamir's family tells me there was some sort of mix-up over the time of today's sentencing. After learning of this, Judge Margaret Russo pulled Tamir's family into the courtroom, apologizing for any confusion.
Oh, so that's what happened. What happened was they're half-brothers, and something must have happened with the sentencing, whether it was the time or whatever it was, but the father wanted to be there to pretty much address him and see him and let him know, like, yo, you took my son from me, right? You took my only child. Well, my only child. And now my granddaughter has to grow up without a father because you decided to take my child and play God.
Never told anybody anywhere to tell anybody they couldn't come in. This is a public courtroom. You're all allowed in.
Raymond Curley was convicted of involuntary manslaughter along with other charges. The prosecution revealing that Raymond shot Tamir 16 times as he tried to run away.
Tamir made a statement to his brother, Mr. Curley, you're not anything without your gun. And Rodney's response was, I don't fight, I kill. I shoot to kill.
Rodney and Tamir's mother.
Whoa. That's crazy. And then you got to watch your mother. See that? You got to watch his mother crying. And she like, listen, I love you, but I want justice. You got to go.
Mother in tears as she took the stand, explaining how she lost both of her sons that day.
And I know he did what he did, and he ruined my life. And he took Tamir's life, and he ruined his own life.
Rodney was sentenced to 23 years in prison. As part of a plea deal, the mother of both boys signed off on a lesser sentence. Normally, everyone, including the victim's family, needs to be aware of the plea deal. However, Tamir's father said he never knew.
She should have never been able to sign off on something when she was the main person, the reason why my son is dead.
The father of the victim handed the judge the letter that he never got to read in court, wondering if it would have made a difference.
On April 30, 2024, Judge Margaret Russo sentenced Rodney Curley Jr. to 23 years in prison for the fatal shooting of his brother. During the sentencing, Tamir's parents, including his devastated mother Pinky Hale, addressed the court, expressing their grief and urging Curley to reflect on his actions. Pinky, who had witnessed the tragic event firsthand, told reporters that no punishment could bring back her son, but she hoped Rodney would learn from his mistakes. The court proceedings also shed light on the brothers' relationship, with family members recalling how close they once were, despite their occasional disagreements. The Cleveland community was left mourning the loss of Tamir, a young man known for his kindness and dedication to his family. His former workplace released a touching statement in his memory, highlighting the impact he had on students and staff alike. Family members and friends held vigils and memorials in honor of Tamir, vowing to keep his memory alive and to advocate for non-violence within their community. Although justice was served in the legal sense, the emotional scars left on the Hale Dial family remain deep. Tamir's father, Mark Dial, expressed his sorrow, stating that while their family might never be the same, they would continue to honor Tamir's legacy. The tragic death of Tamir Hale Dial is a heartbreaking reminder that conflicts within families should never escalate to violence. What happened to him should never have happened. An argument between brothers should never result in murder. My condolences to Tamir's friends and family. May you continue to heal and one day find peace. Thanks for.
All right, y'all. So pretty much, man. Yeah, you know, it's everybody go through things in family, man. Nobody is never gonna be perfect, especially when you have siblings. And you know, a lot of times you argue with your sibling over the stupidest stuff. But I don't think it ever come across your mind to where you want to sit there and take your sibling's life. Like, it gotta be a lot of anger, aggression, tension, and just negativity built up in you to say you're gonna take your own brother's life. And not just take your brother's life in any just regular form or fashion. Brutally unaliving him and shooting him 16 times. While the man tried to run away and plead for his life. Right? And then you gotta think about it as a mother, that'll drive anybody crazy that they had to actually witness that, man. Very unfortunate. You know, my condolences go out to the family. Rest in peace to him. God bless his daughter. And he looked like he was a good family man and a good father, man. And I hate that it has to happen to the good ones. Right? We see it time after time. The good ones always get the worst done to them. And it always seems like the worst people get, you know, the good end of the stick sometime. I don't know. Maybe it's just me, man. I do find it ironic that he only got 23 years. 9 times out of 10, 23 years is the max. And he's probably not even going to do the whole 23, you know? And he's young, so he's still going to see the light of day. So it's messed up, man, that he get to take a life and still see the light of day. But it is what it is. Y'all jump in the comments. Let me know what y'all think about this. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Hit that bell so you're notified every time we drop new content. And remember, as long as you keep on watching, I'm going to keep on dropping. And I'm out.